What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, the podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself. Shots, bro, how you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah, good. I've got a lot more free time now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that just because like you've manufactured time?
That's it. Yeah, people have 24 hours a day.
Yes.
I was like, I want more than that.
So
you don't ask, you don't get. No one else thought to ask.
No one else.
I now have more time.
That's what we've been. That's the life hack.
I tried to tell you.
Life hack.
I tried to tell you.
Well, I'm glad because it means that we could do this a little bit earlier, then we can get things done a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
But who knows? We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, squeaky.
That was super squeaky.
That was so squeaky.
How you been?
I've been good. Surprisingly, things have been going a lot more smoother recently. I've started to go back to the gym again.
Glad something's going right for one of us.
For one of us. And because of Helldivers, I've just been getting way more gaming in.
Perfect.
And we could start talking about that because I've been dying to speak to you. Last week we couldn't record, and I was like, no.
I still haven't downloaded it. I need to. It's because I signed out of because we game share. If you're on PlayStation, you should be game sharing, right? Yeah. And we think so. And I signed out so that Chris could get. What did he play?
Spider-Man 2?
Something
like that.
Which was I played that. It was fantastic. I haven't played that.
Yes, he has, and one as well. He loves both of them.
Both.
He can't wait for the third one.
I need to play them so bad.
Because his favorite developer.
Do you know what's worse as well? Is every time I'm like, yeah, those are really good games. So I'll play something else. Don't know how that works. Anyway, I signed out of that because Chris wanted to play whatever it was, and just forgot to sign back in. I obviously don't know your stuff off by heart, so I keep meaning to get it off you, and then it's like, well, I'm gonna do that, but then if I'm gonna game, I'm not gonna wait for a download, so I jump on Apex or talking to gaming, and it relates. It's terrible, isn't it? Also, I hate gaming. I hate making games is the worst thing ever. For some reason, so I've been streaming. I've been streaming Python, and I was like, we finished a project, and I was like, what should we do now? So I was like, let's make a AAA game. Well, he was like, nah, not even close. He was
I'm making the next Star Wars game, guys.
Get Pygame. It's a Python gaming module to make games. Really simple things. Right. And he was like, it's really good fun. It'll be good. We'll make Pong. Yeah.
Okay.
Mate.
No.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's the worst. It's the worst thing.
So we can't expect a Conbrosations game anytime soon.
I didn't say that. Just because I hate it.
A True Gamer Podcast video game. We can't expect that anytime soon.
What would we do? I guess like the boss fight is surviving getting cancelled, isn't it?
Which is if you're going to watch the the Conbrosations podcast over on our other channel, link in the description. This episode we're doing dark humor, so
I saw your tweet.
We could get.
I saw your tweet and I was like, these are going to be fire. I went to click on it, I was like, no. Resist. Resist, so I haven't seen them.
A lot of people sent me DMs in order to be anonymous, and I'm like, cool, so I'm going to read these out, yeah? Okay. Anyway.
I love the idea that someone's sending you a joke so dark they don't want to be associated with it.
Oh, you read it. Go on. But anyway.
Yeah. So I haven't done a huge amount of it. Played a little bit of Apex Legends. Played Tales of Iron, which Sophie recommended, which has been excellent. Nice. And also has opened my eyes to like the indie scene a bit. Because we know about the indie scene. Whenever we go to EGX, we go and check out the stuff. We speak to guys, the indie devs. But we're AAA gamers, generally, right? That's what we like.
It's a time thing, isn't it? If we have like a limited amount of time, we'd rather go with the biggest blockbusters. It's like going to the cinema. I would love to go for small movies, but really, I feel like I'm
that time. Like it's difficult.
Let's go for Avengers Endgame. Let's go for that.
Right, exactly.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Tales of Iron really opened my eyes to that. One, because it's just very interesting and it has like a cool little story and a couple little mechanics. And two, which really was like, I was like, oh man, I really should pay more attention to these. Is there is no in-game speech. They sort of give you visuals. So the little rats, they talk to each other with like flute noises. Okay. And then the visual shows you what you need to do. Right. But there is a narrator, and we know him, Doug Cockle.
Oh,
Geralt narrates it, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
It's sick. Anyway, that opened my eyes to the indie scene as like actually being relevant and worth doing. And so many of the guys, like the community, have said, oh, you should check out this game. You should check out this game. They've played all these niche little games. So I've got like literally 50 games in my wish list of things that like I want to check out, which I will do at some point once I'm finished learning to code. I hate making video games. I hate it. It's awful.
Well, shit, I guess we're not making the next Helldivers then. But speaking of Helldivers,
Yeah.
I have been on Helldivers pretty much every single day since it came out. And maybe 1 or 2 days off, which is insane because I've not been like that for ages.
Yeah, I know.
And an online game has suddenly taken over my life again.
Yeah. Sounds
After
really
I
cool,
thought I was
yeah.
like, well, I'm done past it now. I'm far too old for this stuff, and I don't have the time for it.
Yeah.
But somehow it's just sort of creeped back into my life.
It is weird how when you get addicted to doing a thing, same with the coding thing, by the way. I think I streamed every day this week for like a minimum of 3 or 4 hours. Like it was a lot. But this is the thing, you go, well, I could get 2 hours in now, you know, and like I don't really need, like I'm not going to sleep anyway, so.
So I might as well stick in that. But it's been super, super, super fun. What is so alluring about this is purely the interaction from the developers and the overarching
Good old
story
Joel.
that they're building with it. Yeah, so I told you about Joel. I didn't tell anybody else about it. So if you don't know Helldivers, or if you do know Helldivers, you probably know what's going on. There's a guy called Joel that exists in the team at Arrowhead, and he is like the dungeon master in D&D, and he influences things whenever he sees fit. You'll be like taking all like, so there's like planets that you have to take out to like cleanse them of all like the bugs or the automatons, which are these cyborg people, and you have to, and you try and take them out. You try and put all your super Earth people there so they can take back those planets. Every now and again, he'll just be like, nah, a big wave of automatons are just going to take back this planet and then fuck up all of your plans. He'll just one day wake up and decide to do that. And it's like, and I love how the community has gotten involved. They're like, fucking Joel guy, that fucking Joel guy. And I've gotten into parties, randoms, we get on mics, and I'm like, so Joel has sent another bunch of fucking bugs over here. And he's like, whoa, no, Joel, we love you, Joel. Joel, if you're listening, you're great. Thank you so much.
Right.
And it's also,
I have heard,
everybody knows the joke.
was it you that told me this? But somebody said that they think that it's actually like we're the baddies sort of situation where like the command is letting loose bugs on those planets so they can specifically invade them and take them over and give them democracy.
That is 100% a solid theory. That's what people are like, no, there's something going on here, something going on. Now, 2 things have happened recently that is very, very interesting, and I want to see how it's going to go. One of them is there have been unconfirmed, I should say, there's been reports of flying bugs.
Okay.
Previously, there were no flying bugs.
Yeah.
There were bugs that had some wings, but they would only be like a chicken. They don't really fly. They just like glide a little bit and they come down. And there's some that are just come straight flying, just like in Starship Troopers, that big one, right? People have posted like pictures and little clips that they've seen on them because they're very, very rare. And the CEO of Arrowhead has come out and like, that's propaganda. Anyone who says that there's a flying bug, they're a traitor. That's heresy right there.
Confirmed.
Inform us, and we'll take them back to Freedom Camp, and we'll send them for reconditioning and whatnot. And everyone's just laughing their ass off. This is great. And another one. We've set up there's like a barrier system. There's like 4 planets in a row that blocks us between us and the bugs.
Yeah.
And we've set up these gassing towers to gas all of the bugs.
So just to be clear, the space fascists,
are gassing bugs,
cool.
to get rid of them or to cleanse the planets.
Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah.
And it's too easy.
Okay.
I suspect something is going to happen here.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Because I was like, oh, this is a cool new game mode. We're all going to jump on there. And we're like, cool, we've cleansed this planet. Oh, fucking...
That worked really, really well.
And there's a news report that comes on. It's like, the new Terminid cleansing tower is 100% effective. And I'm like...
I know propaganda when I hear it.
Interesting.
And propaganda is famous for being true.
With no side effects. I'm like, is it going to turn us all into aliens?
Or make mega Terminids.
Something's going to happen here, and I can't wait for it. A new season open up, there's like a war bond, and it's a bit like Fortnite style where you can use the ink. So there's premium currency, and you can find it in the world. I found enough to get the premium war bond battle pass thing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking great. So that shows how great the game is. I'm having so much bloody
I did hear
fun.
as well on the developer and people saying like you should open up the store and like you should make microtransactions. Like people are asking you for it.
Yeah.
And the CEO was like, we're just going to focus on making the game good for now. Like, we're going to make sure that everything works. There's still bugs that need to be worked out, and like, bugs that aren't meant to be in the game to be worked out. And once that's working, we'll think about it. And I was like, see, people will want to throw money at products if they're good. If they're good, people will ask you to buy things from you. Like, that's all you have to do. And I do think Helldivers is doing a very good job on just about every front, although I haven't played it.
Do you want to hear something funny? Apparently, Bungie pitched this idea back when they were working with Activision, pitched a game pretty much exactly like Helldivers to Activision back in the day. And they were like, nah, it's never worked, shit game, this will never be a thing like that. And then turns out...
If I was the guy that pitched that idea and Helldivers came out, there would be an email getting sent off. Saying, just following up, hi, Joe Blogs.
Fucking told you.
Told you, and just a link to the picture of Helldiver.
And just the stats of like how good it's doing.
Current players, exactly.
Anyway, it's a fucking great game, flourishing. I've been playing games with Adrian, Octarius, some YouTuber guy. We've been having so much fun, and we're all in the theme of it. We're all like, democracy, freedom, and anyone that says anything bad, we're like, traitor! Everyone kill him! Anyway, it's so great. Such a great thing like that. And it's such a wacky game as well. There are like, there's something called a hell bomb that you can bring in to like blow up structures and whatnot. But there are some on the planet that are like unexploded mines. So like the tail of it is poking out.
Cool.
And if you just tap it once with one of the guns or you like smack it with your arm, it will go off in like 3 seconds. It's really hard to judge the distance on those motherfuckers.
Cool.
The amount of times you're like,
free explosives.
I'm back. I'm far enough back here.
It's like a giant grenade.
I mean, that's really far away. Like, I might even miss it at this point when I'm shooting it. So you take a cap and you're like, cool, that hit it. And you go flying across the map. You're like, oh god, no. So
also,
great.
I heard that. So there's the healing weekend, the stims.
Yes,
I heard that it's just basically heroin. It's just painkillers. It doesn't heal you. It just makes you deal with the pain.
There is a lot of theories around that, and what it is like is some sort of controlling psychedelic drug to get you, because when you inject it, it's like freedom, or like something that you feel more patriotic once you get to this. He said the one-liners are just so great, and Yuri Lorenthal, the guy that does the Spider-Man voice, is one of the characters, and pretty much everyone picks that.
What I saw the advert, the propaganda advert that starts at the beginning, and it's so over the top. It's actually brilliant.
It's so good.
It's brilliant.
It's so good.
So you're enjoying Helldivers?
Enjoying it so much. I will say there was something weird that happened the other day. PlayStation posted a page to the PlayStation Gear website where there was a bunch of T-shirts and merch you can buy for it, and I was like, "Ooh, sweet! Let me go check that out." I had already bought a Helldivers t-shirt from another company, which is, this is like a God of War one, by the way. Similar company like that. And I go on there, t-shirt, £35.
A bit dear.
A hoodie, £85. I was like...
When QWERTY's like a tenner.
I was like, what the
There's going to be better stuff on QWERTY in 2 months.
What the hell is this? Anyway, insanity, absolutely insane prices.
Not for me,
They were hilarious. Like, they got a mug, and it says Liberty.
Perfect.
But far too
Have
expensive.
a cup of liberty. Yeah, I've heard that,
Far too expensive there. But yeah, it's been quite decent right now.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. Also, I'm glad to see that it's actually, like, working. And, and I hope that a few people will look at that and go, oh, that's the way to treat people, right? The same way I hope people are going to look at Baldur's Gate 3 and go, that's the way to release a game, right? Huge on value, leave it, have like an open beta for like a year so that people can report back and basically play test it for you, you know? Like...
Can I have an offer for... I've got an offer for you.
Okay.
I found these magic beans earlier... Seeing as you believe that would happen, that could never be a thing that they would learn from.
How many magic beans?
3.
3 of them.
3 magic beans I'd like to sell you.
Okay.
It's just going to take all of your life. Well, they're super magic. They're
Super
like
magic.
Really,
not even
really,
regular magic. Super magic. Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely
You're
interested.
down? Yeah, give me everything you got and I'll take it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you just let me know what you need. Do you need my favorite 4 numbers, mother's maiden name?
Yeah.
Street I grew up on as a kid. Yeah, cool.
The last 3 digits on the back of your car and all that.
Bless. That's the thing, isn't
To
it?
think that the gaming industry will ever learn from that. I mean, we've got unfortunately a lot of depressing topics to talk about today in regards to the gaming industry, which is just going to be proof that nothing is ever going to be learned because it's all greedy businessmen at the top, isn't it? That's what it is.
I saw something funny on that sort of note, which was it was a short, and it was a guy just said, "I hate this game." Right? I think he actually said, "I hate this chest." It was a chest in Starfield.
Yeah.
And actually, the lockpicking minigame looked really good, I thought. I thought it looked cool. And this guy's going through, it's a very technical lock. It has to it's like circles with gaps, and you have to pick, you have key sort of things. You got to move them around, and it slots in and gives you a new circle. You have to select through the key that you need and select it in.
Interesting.
It was cool. It looked really good, really engaging. This guy does one. There's obviously very tight tolerances. It's a difficult lock. Even just watching, you can tell. And finally gets to there's 7 or 8 of them, which is obviously an advanced lock. Opens the crate, empty. And then in the comments, people are like, "I hate when that happens."
Fucking, that's awful.
And I was just like, I had to. I commented. I was like, "Cool. So this is the game that's got Sony ponies shivering in their boots, right?"
I'd end it right there, but that's the end of that game right there.
It's just so bad, isn't it?
Delete.
Anyway, what's our topics?
Our first topic. A Spider-Man multiplayer game called The Great Web that was cancelled got leaked online.
Okay.
So the trailer got leaked online.
Right.
We heard about this cancellation a little while ago. It was around the time we heard about the cancellation of the Factions multiplayer game as well. And also it came out through the leaks of the Insomniac leaks recently.
Yeah.
Of all of the
hack.
It was a hack, wasn't it? Yeah, terabytes of information. And this trailer finally got let out onto the internet. And I'm going to send it to you. The link. You can just watch the trailer in the background and you can get an idea of what it all looks like.
We sending this.
I'm going to send it as a text message.
Cool.
It looks freaking incredible.
I knew it would. Because you said it was cancelled and the thing got leaked. And
it looks freaking incredible. It has all kinds of great things to it. It's got Spider-Gwen in it. It's got what's the guy's name? Miguel from Into the Spider-Verse 2. Yeah. It's got the stop motion stuff. So it's got other influences from across the Spider-Verse. Yeah. It's got all kinds of classic Spider-Men in there. And you're all playing as a bunch of Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Together, fighting against the Sinister Six, fighting against all these classic Spider-Man villain, and we've not got any of it. It looks like you can go to multiple different universes as well. There's some where it's more cartoony. There's noir. There's Spider-Verse theme style and whatnot. It looked freaking fantastic.
I'm watching it right now. It looks freaking fantastic, and it goes to show you that it doesn't really matter who's making the decisions. Big corporations just tend to make bad ones.
Yes.
Although, unless this is... The thing is, we don't know what the model was, in that this could have been heavily, and I would think this is the kind of game that would suit that sort of thing, heavily live service, microtransaction-y. However, it's the exact sort of things I would want to be microtransactions, which is cool Spider-Man skins, cool Spider-Gwen skins, limited time skins, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think this would work really well for that?
A lot of people are asking the question why it got cancelled.
Yeah.
And Raphael, one of our boys, he basically came to the same conclusion that a lot of other people come into, and it probably is the same thing that they thought when they thought of Factions 2, when they cancelled that, which was that they probably didn't realize the undertaking it would be to continuously support a live service game. And it's a studio that is flourishing at the moment in terms of making a single player game. Yeah. So taking all of those resources away and telling them to make a live service game, is that really wise? Okay, maybe it's not. But again, I have to say the same thing that I said when we spoke about Factions 2. Did this idea sneak up on you?
Yeah.
Did the live service model sneak up on you? Did you not know that this was how it works from the beginning?
Well, also, how long have they had Bungie?
Right?
to go, Bungie, we need to look at all your data because intra Sony at the top level, we have a bunch of other products that are going to be live service. What does Destiny bring in? How has that worked? And then like that, it's very frustrating. Again, I think you're right. I bet that there is a lot more to live service games than.
It probably takes a massive undertaking, massive.
But if you do it right,
Team
they
like
print money. Like there's a reason that World of Warcraft's been going since like 2006 because it prints money. League of Legends prints money. Like,
and there's a reason why a bunch of these businessmen, these execs, greenlight such terrible looking live service games like Foam Stars at Square Enix. The fuck is that? Like they greenlight these things because the potential reward is, like you said, prints money. So, and that's why PlayStation initially started this whole live service initiative. They were like, we're gonna invest heavily. If we get one, we win.
yeah,
That's what they want. They just
winner.
want one.
You need one winner. Yeah.
And they have a bunch of solid ideas, but they just never, again, they never went through with them because they just didn't realize that that's what happens.
Do you know what's really annoying is that
So
Spider-Man game is primed to have crossovers in that, like, not just with Spider-Man, Spider People, but like, what other game of Insomniac got coming out? Oh, is that Wolverine? Isn't Wolverine and Spider-Man teaming up one of their most successful comics ever?
Yeah.
Crazy. Who else is in that universe? So there's Hulk, there's all of the X-Men. Like, am I the only... The Justice League? Like, not the Justice League, the Avengers?
I was going to say, what? It would be jokes. Whoa, Superman.
Whoa, Superman!
Whoa.
And you're playable in a limited time event. No one wants to play you. Like, I can't believe I said Justice League. I was looking at Batman and Superman and I said Justice League. Like, there is primed for those sorts of events, and you can have like different universes. You can have like, oh well, Loki invaded, right, from the Avengers.
It even seemed like it was primed for that in the trailer. Like there was those portals they were going into, and they were going to different Spider-Verse universes. There's easily you can say, oh, we're going to an X-Men universe. We're going, this is happening, something like that. This is a bigger ball drop than The Last of Us Factions. Like I had high hopes for Last of Us Factions because it would have been like a bit more narrative focused. This is a bigger ball drop, I think.
Yeah.
Because also Spider-Man just has that draw as well.
It really does. Also, we know a couple of... this is so silly. It's such a weird connection, but Insomniac makes Ratchet and Clank. So we know those portals would have been really interesting or could have had some interesting like mechanics to them, right? And been just so cathartic and so just incredibly well done and well placed. Yeah. Like, so that mechanic plus Spider-Man of infinite varieties plus potentially Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men, you know, Hulk, all of these possible crossovers, Avengers, not the Justice League, that'd be stupid. You know?
Anyone who says that is an idiot.
Freaking idiot. Like, so much scope for crossovers for that and for limited time events and to just churn money on skins that people want to buy from you. Unlimited scope for maps because, well, you're going to a different world. Maybe this Spider-Man doesn't hang out in New York. Maybe he's in Gotham, or Metropolis. You know,
as they do sometimes.
That's where some of the other heroes
canon. Yeah, happens all the time.
Or Smallville, even. Who knows?
Exactly. Just a small farm town in Smallville. Yeah, this is actually really, really upsetting to me.
There's a lot of bad news with games getting cancelled. Like the KOTOR remake is done.
Well, apparently there's another. Apparently it's gone somewhere else now. Apparently it's been put back into works, but again, it's resetting the timer, so it's going to be 5 years from now. You know,
it's crazy, isn't it?
This is extra. This actually ties into the next thing we're going to talk about, but this is extra upsetting to me because when we got the leak from Insomniac, we also got how much they spent on Spider-Man 2. Yeah. And it was like 300 million they spent on it. And I was like, that's far too much for a video game.
Yeah.
Far too much. Because on top of it, like I don't know how that got greenlit, first of all, because as a businessman, the risk there is so high. All right, let's see what if this flops? Like,
because what if people, the thing is, you know that Insomniac are likely to make a very good game, but what if people are just done with Spider-Man?
Right.
Because eventually that will happen, right? Like all of these superheroes go through peaks and troughs. Like there will be a time where people are just not that into a Batman movie or just not that into a Spider-Man movie or whatever it is, eventually we'll hit market saturation and then it'll go 10 years and someone will make one. I mean, that's what happened with the original Spider-Man trilogies, right? Like, so we had the Tobey Maguire once and then it was like 5 or 10 years before they did it again. And then Andrew Garfield got 2 and then it was like another 10 years.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what I mean? Like, it happens. So
that would have been a massive like flop right there. What was I saying before?
well, I wonder if how much of this cost was in that. Because it's not like Insomniac would just like, well, we'll just do. We've seen how much people didn't like God of War, so we won't reuse any assets. We're going to build it all from the game ground up.
After the game's released, all right, drag that to the recycle bin.
Into delete.
And
Don't need
start
that
from
anymore.
the ground up again. And you know what? We'll fire all the talent we had as well, so they can't use their memory.
How did I solve that problem? No, that's not a question to ask.
Get out of here. Fucking dumb. That was the dumbest. That was the dumbest thing in all of gaming when that came out. When that idiot, I don't even remember what his fucking name
Who
was.
it was. If you're
That
not
Xbot,
aware,
whatever it was.
some expert was saying on Twitter that God of War Ragnarok was definitely a bad game because Sony Santa Monica were like obviously phoning it in and stretched thin because they reused the animation of Kratos getting into the boat. And like immediately we were just like, there's only one way really to get into a boat. Like,
And it's not like between games, he's like, do you know what? I feel like getting into this boat with a bit more flair now.
I think I'll just backflip into boats from now on.
Every year I change the way I get into my car. Everywhere. This year, I'm going to get in on my hands. Aha!
New year, new me, new way of getting into the car. You know, I only get in through the window this year. I'm a sunroof kind of guy for 2025. Stupid, isn't it?
Have you heard of the sunroof hamster challenge?
What?
This is not the conversation for this podcast, but there's
Wait
a
for combos.
remind me, sunroof, hamster, and you guys, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section. Okay.
Yeah, what other bad news have we got?
So from there, I'm going to go into, it's just been industry-wide layoffs.
Yeah.
All over. It's so fucking depressing. 900 of those employees are from PlayStation.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Studios great studios like Naughty Dog, Gorilla, Insomniac, even after releasing stellar, well received, commercially well received as well games, still people got affected there.
So I heard a different side of this, another side to the coin on this, where someone was like, it's not, I understand why it's happening, is what they were saying.
Okay.
And they were basically saying what happened likely was that between like 2020 and 2023-ish, because these companies did really well because everybody was at home and playing video games and there was a huge upshot in this stuff.
Yeah.
That what these companies did was actually they overhired. Yeah. Expecting this to continue, which is obviously very short-sighted.
So dumb.
Any
normal analyst should have been able to tell them, be like,
yeah, we're not tripling in size from now on. Right, and expecting that again next year.
It's the dumb business mentality. If you're not growing every single year, you're going backwards.
It's crazy because in other fields we call that cancer, but it's insane, isn't it? But like, so it's like those people actually aren't needed, and there isn't enough work for them now. That explains why it's happening, but it doesn't make it any better. And I'm not saying that the guy was, I can't actually remember who it was. I'm not saying he was saying it's okay. I'm saying he was saying actually the layoffs happened a year and a half before they happened because people hired improperly for talent they didn't need, maybe at levels that weren't needed for projects that there was no reasonable consideration that they would continue. Yeah. Except that the guy making that hire had no idea about that. You know, like the company might have known or somebody might have been able to tell, but the
I think the higher ups were like, because it was always about that demand at the time. So like when it went to like COVID times and everyone was indoors and things like that, they were like, oh, there's a ton of people online. We need to hire a bunch of people so we can adequately meet the demand of the people that are there.
That makes sense.
And they're like, what's the downside of this? Well, we're going to have to lay people off their time. It's like, well, that's no skin off of our nose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just business, isn't it? That's the way they see it, which is so fucking shit because it's your employees.
All I can hope
But again, it is all just business, isn't it?
I can only hope that most of these guys were contractors. And the reason that makes it slightly better is that contractors know that their contracts will be up, and they're always the first to get cut, which is the double-edged sword of being a contractor.
Yeah.
So it's not good still.
No. Well, unfortunately, some of them weren't. So I know there's a bunch of people that I follow, obviously, in the industry, especially like community managers and stuff like that. Gorilla's senior community manager got fired, and it was really sad to see her go. She was quite a nice woman.
Also, Gorilla's not one of those ones I would have thought was expanding massively.
Right, I didn't see that at all. But again, it could be. There's all tons of things going in the background. They were working on a multiplayer game, or still are, I think.
Yeah.
London Studios completely shut down.
I can't wait for them to release Gorilla to release their next game next to COD or something. Worst time in the
They'll have to pick a live service game that will eat them up nicely, like they have with every other.
You said
game.
Which London studio?
London Studios. It's actually that's just what they. That's what they're called. London Studios. They worked on a couple of PSVR games.
Okay.
They made.
Well, good riddance to them then.
Fucking bastards! I love their last game. Blood and Truth. That was what it was called. It had Colin Salmon. You know,
I know that name.
He's a British guy, black guy. You've seen. I'm sure you know him. When you see his face, you can be like, oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Well known guy. He's a very cool guy.
He's great.
He was in it. I really like London Studios. What made it extra shitty is that I remember seeing Jim Ryan visiting them maybe like a week before it got closed down, and there was like a nice picture. They were all like, sorry to see you go, Jim. Best of wishes. Yeah. Thanks for all the stuff you've done, because Jim Ryan's leaving. And then the week later, after like cake and shit like that, and posting,
I saw that.
Hey Jim, they've like closed.
I saw it was a Sony. I think there was one where he was at a Sony like Manchester or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, great day with the guys," and then, like you say, a week later, like 70 of them are gone. You know,
I have to believe that that's the real reason why he was there. Like, he was there speaking to the higher ups to be like, give them a heads up, be like, look, next week you guys are closing down. I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but that's what we're going. If it wasn't, and he was just there because of the party, they were like, we want to. Maybe the higher ups knew that they were on the edge somewhere. They could like sense it, and they were like, let's get Jim Ryan in. Let's give him a goodbye party. Maybe put his good side so we don't get shut down. Jim, we made this. We handmade this cake. Jill brought this in from home. And Derek, he made all these cupcakes, vegan and everything. Don't worry about it. You can have whatever you want.
Is he vegan?
I don't know if he is. But it's
no wonder.
It's the games industry. They're all very like that. And then we made these soy burgers over here, obviously. You're laughing, but you know this is what it's like in every game studio.
Oh, God.
Actually, do you know what? I'm going to take all that back, because when I went to Respawn, they were like, In-N-Out Burgers, boys. We're like, hey, let's go.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though.
But that was really, really shitty right there. And speaking of Respawn Entertainment, Respawn as well suffered a big layoff as well, mainly from the Apex Legends department, which is that's cool. Then
who cares? Isn't it?
Cool. No one gives a fuck about the Apex Legends team. That is because he's a big. He loves you guys. No, but they lost a lot of talent there. They also had their Mandalorian game cancelled.
I know.
That were working there. That one hit a little bit closer, but obviously because I've been there and I've seen the developers. After releasing a successful game...
First of all, not just a successful game, multiple successful games.
Yeah.
Like, Respawn are, first of all, famous for doing... They're the team that did all the good CODs back in the day. Then they release both Titanfalls, Apex, which
very
is...
well loved.
I don't know if it's... second or third in the Battle Royale space, so Prince money.
Yeah.
Both Jedi games... Wait, what was that series called? Is it Jedi?
Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, so the Jedi games. Like, they've only done bangers. That's all they've done.
That's what pisses me off, because it's like you're told in life, if you just do good work, and people get to see that good work, then you're golden.
Yeah,
everything's
people
great.
People know you're the best, and
and you're safe. But totally contradictory to that.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
It's really, really annoying. And having gone to the studios and having seen how passionate those guys are, how much of a Star Wars nerd they are, and the heart and soul they've poured into shit, and then it's just like, EA, we don't care.
Yeah, and also because, like, whatever problems people might have, which I don't actually know if anyone has any problems with, like Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order. I don't think I heard any real negativity. Like, Respawn has been incredibly true to Star Wars. It feels very it's perfect, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple of things like that thing where you go across the thing and the stormtroopers can't hit you. Like, that's a bit silly, but overall, like, the game's fantastic. And to know that we're missing out on a Mandalorian game where we could have had more Star Wars, maybe go into some of the grittier sides of things, potentially, totally different gameplay, fun new mechanics, and it's gone.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It really does suck. It really does suck.
That really does suck.
And the final thing that to bring up as well, just to seal off this terribleness.
Just to really make us feel down.
Deviation Games, which I don't know if you remember because we didn't see too much of them. It was a brand new studio started from like ex Call of Duty developers, like veterans and stuff like that, who were making a live service game, and they were announced they were in a partnership with PlayStation to make their first game exclusive for them. Last year they had a bunch of layoffs. This year, completely shut
Closed,
down. It's a really tough market out there.
It's a tough market for a lot of people in a lot of sectors, but tech gets really...
Which makes the next two things worse. Some Naughty Dog and Activision veterans formed their own AAA studio called Empty Vessel. And Stig, the creative director on God of War and the last Star Wars games from Respawn, he left to create his own studio as well, Giant Skull. In this market, I don't know how you have the balls to do that.
One of the so some of you guys probably have seen this dude Thor, Pirate Software. He's gone like viral maybe the last 5 months.
I probably know him by face, but you're on.
He's the guy that used to work at Blizzard, caught the cheers.
Yes,
that guy. Everybody's seen that guy, right? Well, given my unusual working environment the last few weeks, I've been doing nothing but watching his stream.
Interesting.
For work-related purposes.
Yes.
Again, work. But he was saying, because he's got like 20 years in the games industry, like either working for Blizzard, then I think he worked for Blizzard, then Amazon Game Studios, and then making his own game, right?
Cool.
He was saying the thing is that the reason you have this stuff happening, like it happened to CDPR as well, not in the way that they left to make their own studios, but all the good, no, there's not good talent at CDPR, but the guys, the heart and soul of the teams that made The Witcher 3 what it was, left during Cyberpunk, and the reason was that they strayed from the vision, right? Because you have the best people are the most passionate. That's why they're the best.
Yeah.
They're passionate about source material, Henry Cavill, right? They're passionate about the job that they're doing. They're passionate about the task they're achieving. They're passionate about the vision that they're putting forward to the games industry.
Zack Snyder. Oh, for the games.
Yeah, not that guy. Different guy.
My apologies.
And so when these cool ideas are just shot down, they leave. And I made up this fake scenario. Do you remember when we found out that Ragnarok was going to be on the PS4 as well?
Yes.
And I said, there is a developer there who had this idea during 2018, God of War 4, and was like, Corey, I want to do this. And it's going to do this. It's going to have these mechanics. And Corey was like, that's a great idea, but hardware can't handle it. And then, years later, PS5 comes out and he goes, this will work now. We can do this mechanic. This thing can happen. Like, that's it. It's the Ratchet and Clank Portal thing, right?
Yeah.
We can make it work. And he goes, no, you can't, because it's got to work on a PS4 again, right? That guy leaves. And maybe he leaves and does nothing. Maybe he leaves and gets a different job. Maybe he leaves and makes his own game. Maybe he leaves and goes to a different studio. But the point is, he leaves. If that happens in a thing that you're passionate about, and it happens enough, you leave. And the problem is that all the best talent leave and they go and form their own studios. And that doesn't necessarily mean that studio is good, because the best talent isn't necessarily the best talent together. It was the best talent in the team that it was in. Yeah. On the project that it was on. You know? And sometimes, because I love creatives and stuff like that. I love the people that go, let's try and push this forward. But sometimes, if you try and do all of those things, it ends up breaking. Sort of like what happened with Cyberpunk, right? Yeah. They tried to do too much in a weird time frame and couldn't commit to it. It didn't work. And that also happens. You know, we can't all be Hassan Khurram. we can't all be the best game developer in the world.
What the fuck happened to that game? He just like, people found out it was all a scam. They went, all right, we're just gonna ignore you. And then he went, cool, this is my time to get out. Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Moving on to our next topic.
Yeah.
Have you heard of WB's downfall recently? When I say
how can it get worse?
When I say recently, I mean pretty much from 2017.
I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Well, recently they've been making a lot of bad plays. I mean, it's no secret
name 15 off the top of your head.
Only 15. Well, let's go for it. Recently, their stock has been plummeting because they've been making a bunch of bad decisions.
We got rid of the person that likes our IP the most and has done the best for it, and demonstrably fixed this one of the crappiest movies we ever released by just releasing the actual version of it, and it was a cult hit during a global pandemic. Ooh.
It is absolutely funny if you go look at it.
Everybody went to see Black Adam just because Henry Cavill was in it for 13 seconds. By the way, I really enjoy Black Adam. Like, oh no, we got rid of Henry Cavill, the best Superman ever to have existed, and then also Ben Affleck, the best Batman ever to have existed, and then like, what? Fuck you.
If you go look at the stock for WB,
what's the WB ticker?
Right now it's at $8.55.
Yeah, was it?
Fucking, there's a lot of ads on here.
What's it?
So 3 months ago it was at $11. That's a lot to drop. A year is at $14.
Ooh.
3 years ago.
Ooh.
So 3 years ago in March. 3 years ago in March, it was $77. There was a peak of $77. Do you want to know what happened exactly 3 years ago that caused this peak?
I mean, I can't think of anything that could possibly have. The Batman came out. Yeah, that's right around there.
That wasn't it. No, that wasn't it.
Sure, I feel like it was the Batman.
No, that was the year after 2022. So,
I know. The pandemic, people were in, so they were ordering more DVDs.
No. Yeah, on that day, the day that it peaked to the highest point, release of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Crazy.
And ever since then, it's just been on this crazy downfall all the way down to $8.
Because they kept saying, well, that's it though, that we're not doing any more. Like, fuck you.
They've been going down. Let me tell you the story.
Oh, God.
So they've decided to make even more bad decisions.
Sick.
Warner Bros., the games division, after their most recent call with their investors, said that they're moving away from AAA single-player games and focusing more on live service games.
This is what we want to hear is...
when did the Hogwarts Legacy come out? Last year. In the last 2 years, they've released 2 major games. Yeah. 3 major games. There was Gotham Knights as well. One of them was a single-player game that sold 22 million copies in one day.
Yep.
And then the other one, Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, a live service game that bombed and has got like 10 people playing it right now. We need to make more live service games. Yeah, that's what we'd do. Who's running Zaslav guy is running it? That's who? Could you imagine making that decision as a businessman and then expecting your stock prices to do anything but go down?
Oh shit. I want to say, just for the record, shit. I thought, you know what, Ed, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Shit. According to Steam, in the last 30 days, it hit a peak of just over 4,000 players. So you're like, oh, there's 10 people playing it. Like, bruv.
Over the last 30 days. What's the 24-hour peak? What does it say there? Is there a 24-hour peak? Does it say that?
24-hour peak. I don't have it, but that is a lot worse than I thought it would be. A lot worse.
Let me have a look on my end as well.
Oh my god, there's 590 people on right now, and in 24 hours, 708 is the peak.
Oh my god!
So I was like, you're like, there's only 10 people playing. I was like, that's a bit harsh, bruv. You were off by 10x. That's it. Not even less than 10x.
That's so bad. That's it. And the thing is that I like the game.
I know you do.
I like the part that I played. The story's incomplete, but the part that I played, I was like, this is not too bad. And I'm a Suicide Squad hater.
Yeah.
I hate Suicide Squad. But any normal person should see that and go, this isn't the way to go. This isn't the way to go. Maybe we should go back to making the thing that made us tons of money.
22 million copies in a day. Nah, maybe we'll just focus on Suicide Squad. But the problem is a lot of these guys go, well, Suicide Squad flopped. We need to double down on it. Jesus Christ. I know.
Literally the highest peak right there, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Straight down.
Because as soon as that happened, people said, well, now you've seen it, but we're sticking to what we're doing,
Oh.
It's just, also, I was going to see what date when Black Adam came out.
Oh, yeah?
Because there was like 2 weeks of hope that Henry Cavill would...
Oh, yeah.
They'd be rekindling it. I wanted to see if there was a spike there.
Let me see. Black Adam release date, 21st of October. We're going to get back to gaming, I promise.
I'm just curious, innit? 21st of October, yeah?
2022. 21st of October, 2022. 21st.
Sorry, guys. 1 second. This is like not the easiest thing to find.
Let's go to 3 years and then we work from there.
What did you say? 21st of October?
21st of October, 2022.
21st of October, 2022. Where are we?
I can't see any noticeable difference. There's a tiny bump here,
Okay.
but I don't know how much you can attribute that to that. It goes a bit up. That's about as far as it goes.
Cool. Yeah, I was just curious, like I said. Like, just constant bad decision making.
Yeah, and we thought at one point that maybe the merger was going to be some sort of like great revival of WB.
Yeah.
Maybe DC was going to get back on track and whatnot. And I'm not going to try and tell you that it's completely dead. I mean, maybe James Gunn does perform some sort of miracle. There's a shot of Epi to the heart and then like shocks that shit back to life. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not looking great. And it's funny because there were signs of things that could very easily revive it. But no.
The thing is,
no, we're gonna get rid of that universe. We're gonna get rid of these single player games. Since the release of Gotham Knights, since the reveal of it, people have been talking about the Arkham games. The Arkham games got more players than Suicide Squad, and they're like, no, we're gonna go the other way.
the thing is, I understand the senior, like the CEO and stuff, making decisions, right? And at some point, you got to say, look, we've made this decision, we're committing to it. But when you're proven demonstrably, not just wrong, not like the reverse of right, but actively driving business down, maybe you go, especially given that there is a time crunch here, because Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Zack Snyder are going to age out of being able to, maybe not Snyder, but they're going to age out of being able to do this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they have done. Realistically,
They have
like,
done.
like to get, let's say you greenlit the project today, it's 5 years from today until the next movie comes out, right? They've aged out of it. Fuck them. The problem is they'll all be fine. They'll all get millions and millions of dollars. WWE will be in the shitter. And, you know,
It just sucks
the
because
next
I am
Batman
such a
movie
big...
will give them enough of a boost that then everybody in the current leadership can get out, knowing that they've completely sunk the ship, and go, oh man, look at these guys ruining WB while they made millions somehow, you know? Dickheads.
Anyway, that's that.
There's a lot of good news this week, isn't it?
A lot of good news. Let's end on a bit of a positive note, a bit of a positive discussion.
Yeah.
We've only had rumors of the
Confirmed.
next.
Good enough for me.
To be fair, they're the worst rumors in the world. They're the rumors that like we know are coming.
Yeah.
The next Last of Us game and
Crazy. What?
Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Yeah.
Which one of those are we more excited for and why? Let's do a little discussion right here. I saw this from the Twitter account.
The Snitch?
No, Rhino. What's his name?
I don't know, bruv.
I'm gonna look right now. And it says, yeah, Rhino the Bouncer. And he's a Twitter account who like regularly like drums up conversation in like in thing. Sometimes it's reporting of news, and there is supposed to be rumored a state of play happening in like June time.
Yeah.
So people are thinking that it's gonna be the next Ghost of Tsushima is gonna be revealed there. Which one would you like to see more of? I said definitely Ghost of Tsushima 2. And I was like, I know Sheps will probably agree with me there. As much as I love and I want to see part 3 or whatever was going to be coming like there, That was a bit of an emotional hit. It was like being hit by a train.
Yeah.
I think the Ghost of Tsushima game would hit really nice right now. It'd be a nice palate cleanser from Spider-Man, from God of War. It'd be like something that, you know, that's something we need right there.
Spoiler alert, I agree. Ghost of Tsushima 2. But for two reasons. One, I do feel that Sucker Punch will have listened to some of the complaints, which I hope the complaints were loud enough. Like, one, the fact that Yuna's not a romance is stupid. And I get it, especially a game like that where oh my god, the combat system's so good. Like, sorry, but I've got a cold here as well. I'm a little bit run down. It just makes sense for those characters in that scene, when they're drinking just before the big battle. Like, that just makes sense. And maybe make it an option, whatever, right? I hope that was noticed. And I do kind of trust Sucker Punch enough to notice things like that. To notice that the boss fight was a little bit crap at the end. And like you say, it would be a palate cleanser. We don't have to worry about these deep, relationships. Unless they do my idea of they do a DLC or whatever of the throwback to Kazumasa, his dad.
Yeah.
Like Jin getting to know his father by anyway, besides the point. But that would be good. Also, and it's less wanting Ghost of Tsushima 2, but more, I don't know what they could possibly do now for The Last of Us 3. Like, I was in the camp, and I still think it was a good opinion to have at the time, knowing what we knew, that you shouldn't have made a Last of Us 2, right? I thought it was a bad idea.
It was a very educated opinion at the time. It's like, all the signs point to don't do this.
Yeah, just don't do it. It's a terrible risk. Yeah. Now, they did it. They made an incredible game, an excellent game. It came with a lot of negativity, and some very unfairly.
It divided a lot of people.
Yeah,
divided the fan base a lot. Like, there are still people that really hate. People hate Neil Druckmann because of that game.
And Laura Bailey still.
And Laura Bailey as well. I'm like, you guys are fucking insane, isn't it?
And weirdly, I think that's a sign of how good the game is. Like, don't try and make everybody happy. Just make a great product, and the people that love it will love it. The people that don't won't, and people still talk about it, whatever. That is the only way that game could have been made, doing it what they did. And now we are fully out of options, as far as I can tell. And I'm okay at figuring out story stuff. There's nothing left.
How do we do this? Like, there was residue at the bottom of the barrel, and that's what you made Last of Us 2 on. Now the residue's gone.
Yeah. Because, and to be fair, The Last of Us 2 still hinged on the relationship.
Yeah.
And that can only be done the one time.
Yeah.
You can only do it like that once.
Who knows, man?
Who knows? So I think the chances of lightning striking twice, or three times in this case, very, very low.
Yeah.
And the likelihood that Ghost of Tsushima 2 could be, well, gameplay wise, it's like a Spider-Man, right? That's not going to be a bad game to play, to physically interact with. Come up with a half decent story, maybe chuck a romance in there, and you give us some ninja stuff in Japan. It's just so much more likely to not suck. And I feel like I hate people that do this, but I would do it as well. If The Last of Us 3 came out and it was bad, or even just okay, I'd be like, you ruined the franchise.
Yeah.
You ruined the legacy.
This is the worst bookend ever.
Right,
it's
probably.
This
is season 8 of Game of Thrones. Why did you do this?
The drawing of the horse that's on fire,
yeah,
and the last one's just a stick figure.
yeah. It's like, do this and then finish the picture. It's just a stick figure. You
fucked up.
Yeah, don't do Game of Thrones season 8. It's better to leave a project or a thing good and unfinished, and people go, man, I wish we would have got more of that. Then you do a season 8 of Game of Thrones, or you make the Justice League or whatever, right? Don't do that.
Game of Thrones, I still think about that sometimes. How amazingly it crashed and burned towards the end. Because it was the most talked about thing ever. You couldn't go anywhere without people talking about it. And then the last season was so bad that everyone just went...
It's actually impressive because they got every single thing wrong. Every single... even random distribution, they could not have done it. They nailed it.
Yeah.
They nailed murdering that show.
It seems intentional almost, right?
Had to be at every turn. At every turn, things were made poorly. The decisions that were made, by the characters. None of them make sense. How character relationships are ended off, how characters die is ended off. The whole John and Khaleesi, the most overused like hug, and then you hear the and then which one got it, and then
I just remember the dragon burning the Iron Throne. It's like, I know dragons are smart, but it didn't understand the interpolitics of the world.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you're right. So like at every point they got it wrong, at every single point, and then there is no resolution because having Bran be the new king or whatever they do with it, like oh, there's peace. Yeah, for about 5 years before he's either poisoned, dies because he's frail, or is ousted.
End of his bloodline as well. Like,
right, he's infertile, he can't breed. Like, there is no more. That's it. And then it goes directly back to the squabbling that was before. Like,
so dumb. So dumb.
At no point does any decision make any sense. It's actually genuinely impressive how poorly they did that.
Yeah.
So, again, you only need a couple of those to ruin the season, right? To ruin Game of Thrones forever. You have a couple of those bad decisions. They did all of it. Similarly, like The Last of Us 3 would have to do what The Last of Us 2 did, nail everything. And even, I think you and I generally agree, they nailed everything. They nailed, maybe not, there's a bit, I think we play as Abby for a little bit too long. And I feel like, I'm not sure how I feel about her getting the Rat King fight. But it's a great fight and all that. I just feel like maybe I connect, we're more connected with Ellie. It might be better for her to do it, but whatever. Other than that, they nailed everything. And that game, like you say, divided down the middle, the fan base, and people hate it. And they hate it to this day. And weirdly, there's politics involved. There's literally no politics in the game. Not at all.
Society's dead. There's no room for politics.
Like there's
just survival.
There is no politics in the game. Like, there's nothing you have to go digging for it. And it's not there. You have to make it up, right? And people are still talking about it. And it's like, that is a great game where they nailed it. So how are we gonna do this?
Yeah. Bring us Ghost of Tsushima 2.
I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody was in my stream and they were saying, I'm just playing. I think it was Tyr, was saying, I'm getting I'm sorry if it wasn't you. I'm sorry. I forgot who it was.
He's not a gamer. Don't give him credit for playing games. God.
But they were like, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima for the first time now. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, yeah, I'm literally only playing it because you wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. And he was like, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm really glad you wouldn't shut the fuck up about it because I genuinely would never have played it. And I'm like, that made me really happy.
I think Vit was telling me as well, because it's coming to PC in May 16th.
Yeah.
He's going to play it then. And I think Horizon Forbidden West came earlier this year as well.
I think so, yeah.
So he's like, it's been great for PC games. I was like, finally gets to play good games.
Absolutely.
Finally.
I would say
Zacchino as well. He's been so happy. He's like, oh, finally I get good games, mate.
Good games, yeah.
I mean, he has a PS5 as well, but
I would say, and I hope, is there DS5 support for the PC stuff?
As in DualSense support?
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd
'Cause
imagine, right?
I would hope so, because that's the only way to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
It's one of the only games, like, I'm almost instantly turn vibration off, but the DualSense with Ghost of Tsushima is a must. And I really hope it's as potent as it is on the PS5, because that is a game you should not play with a mouse and keyboard. That is a game you need in your hands.
There's no game you play with a mouse and keyboard. It's no,
True.
What?
It's just doing your taxes on
you
Excel.
Exactly. That maybe you can play with mouse and keyboard, but
like to play Ghost of Tsushima, you need to grip Jin Sakai, grip him in your hands, nice and firm. You know, don't let him go. Wait for the vibrations. Right, exactly. Like,
I will say one thing. You know, Helldivers.
Yeah.
There's these things called stratagems where they're like, you can shoot orbital missiles from your ship and whatnot to try and help you out. So you lay down.
Is
like
there friendly fire?
Yes. Cool. Which makes it
hilarious. Can you turn it off?
No.
Perfect.
No.
Perfect.
And some of the stratagems
Everybody's
as well,
getting my freedom.
Exactly. That's what it is. Sometimes there are stratagems as well that like you throw down and it's got a very wide area of effect and there's no warning whatsoever. And it's just chaos. Just absolute chaos. So you throw it down. You have to do like a bunch of
Right, up, down, left, right.
Exactly.
R1, R2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the directional pad, yeah. So you hold down R1, you go up, down, up, left, and then it activates the correct one, then you throw it and whatnot,
Cool.
and you go like that. On PC, people have worked out a way to use like a Stream Deck, where you could just hotkey a certain stratagem to one thing.
That's not cool.
It's not cool because it takes out of it, but it does make you like commander sort of things, like bang, we'll go next one, bang. But it does take a little bit out of it. Again,
I don't like that.
PC gamers ruining all the fun,
Let's
like
not
usual.
call them gamers. Yeah, like that's
true.
This is the thing. This is the thing that bothers me. So there's talking of Helldivers again. Like there is a bit of controversy because the anti-cheat's really invasive on PC. It's called kernel level.
Yeah, I don't understand what the issue is, but someone tried to explain it to me. It gets to like the system, like kernel level. You said
Kernel
right?
level, which basically means it has full access to your PC.
Right.
Which is a problem in a couple of ways. One, it apparently is not actually any better than any other anti-cheat.
That's
right?
one reason why.
That's pretty major.
Yeah.
Secondly, it has full access to your entire PC. So if they are hit by somebody, there's the potential that you're connected to a user, a thing that has access to your PC. Point, then. And thirdly, it was a different game, but a player got permanently banned on, I forget the game, but it's well known, also has kernel level anti-cheat, because he had cheats on his computer for a completely different, very old single player game.
Oh, I think I heard.
Because I think he was a speedrunner and you needed them to get the mode correct or something like that, right? It's like, it's a single player game and it's old and it's niche. Like, but even so, like, if you're playing, what is a single player game? Like, look, if there are Minesweeper hacks, because that's the only thing that you can play on a PC, you should, like, there's no reason the Helldivers or whatever thing anti-cheat should be banning you for that. Even, to be fair, even other hacks for other games, your job as the anti-hack for a game is to protect the players in that game. Yeah. Not players in general.
It should be, does anything affect the system files in the game? If it doesn't, then that's cool. Who cares?
Yeah, so...
But I guess there's also... the problem is that there's probably hacks that work around that.
Maybe.
Whatever, and I don't know what the reason...
But apparently it's not... It's like, it's okay, but it's not like head and shoulders above other, cheat detection systems. So, that's one of those things, isn't it? Like,
thankfully, as I said, it only affects
this is why we
PC
play on
gamers.
PlayStation. There
you go. All right. That's all the topics that we have for today. Thank you, gamers, for joining us for this True Gamer podcast. Thank you so much. We'll catch you guys all in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, we
hopefully, there'll be some good news to talk about then.
I can't think what it might be.
I mean...
But hopefully. We can just cross our fingers.
There hasn't been a proper gaming announcement in a while, has there?
It feels like... The problem is I know people say there's nothing to play, but actually we've had absolute bangers in the last 3 years. We've been eating good as gamers, like really, really good.
What was the last game? Because I remember I think I platinumed something, and then I moved over to Helldivers, and I platinumed to Helldivers, and I went, cool, do you know what I'm going to do? They announced the DLC for Elden Ring. And I was like, maybe I'll go back into Elden Ring and whatnot, and I'll platinum that before the thing comes out.
You finished Elden Ring, didn't you? Have you played much of it? You'd really like it.
I know I would. That's the thing.
You would really like it. I hated the entire thing, but I was looking at there is some really incredible lore in here and some great stories. I can just tell, but I hated the entire experience. I hated it. Oh my God, I hated it.
So there's the running joke with me. So Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I played, loved, got all the trophies except for one. And then 6 years later, I did a stream and then I got that last trophy and got the platinum trophy. Yeah. And the whole joke was, now it takes 6 years to get that trophy and whatnot. Yeah. Similar sort of thing is happening with Elden Ring, where I bought the collector's edition.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I played.
You're the only one playing the game right. How are these other guys going to play the game but don't finish it for 5 years?
I played 2 hours of it, put it to the side. Never went back to it. The DLC's coming out, and there's a collector's edition for the DLC, and I was like, do I buy the collector's edition for the DLC? And people were like, what are you doing, Ed? Play the game.
Do you see what I have to deal with? Do you see what I have to deal with? To be honest, I have to say, actually, but all jokes aside, I'm genuinely proud of you because you send me those Superman busts, and they're like $3,000 a pop, and I'm like,
The amount of statues of like Batman, Superman,
and statues underselling it. These are like
art,
like
craftsmanship.
Also, a bit of me is like, as long as Isla's eating, like, I mean, it's a pretty sick statue.
The amount of times we come this close to it.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, Isla and Adriana don't both need to eat on the same day.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Right?
Let's be honest.
Right?
Let's be honest.
And Isla's a bit chunky anyway. She can afford to lose a couple of pounds.
She
Do you know
can
what I mean?
stand to lose.
She's got to be like 10, maybe even 15 kilos at this point.
Exactly.
How much does she weigh?
I don't know how much she weighs actually. I think she's about 12, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So,
any more,
it's way
she's
too
gonna,
much.
She's going to size up in nappies, but I can't have that. Now. Come on. As if they're more expensive when you size up or something like that.
I mean, more food, more toilet paper. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Come on now. Anyway.
yeah.
Thank you for chatting with me, bro.
Much
Thank you for
love.
chatting gaming. Let's get over to the other side and
do
get
it.
ourselves cancelled or whatever we're going to do over there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to these dark humor jokes.
It's going to be quite fun. It's going to be quite fun. Join us by clicking the link in the description
That's right.
over on the other Conbros channel. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Did you just finger guns?
I did.
But you did it with the bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You went bye-bye. You trying to get that hollow.
But I can't. Doesn't sound right.
It looks so weird.